Can I have a motion to resume public session? Dr. Richards? Ms. Davis? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. We're now back in public session. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Up first, we have our GC Pride Awards.
Members, it's our pleasure to be here this evening on behalf of Florence Brasser Elementary School. And I have the distinct pleasure to introduce Jen Christensen this evening, a GC Pride Award recipient. Many of you may know that prior to becoming our K-5 literacy coach, about a year and a half ago, Jen was a classroom teacher for many years. At that time, I knew her as a creative and driven teacher, as someone whose classroom, whenever I stopped in, I always saw high quality instruction, and as someone who was very well respected by her colleagues. About a year and a half ago, Jen transitioned to a new role, working with all 4 of our elementary buildings as our K-5 literacy coach. And I can tell you a couple of things about a transition like that. It's not easy to start a job that didn't previously exist. It's also not easy to have a vision for change at the systemic level and remain steadfast in your commitment to see that change through. I can tell you that Jen is doing both of these things with excellence. In the short amount of time she's been in her position, Jen has established herself as a trusted colleague, not in one building, but in all 4 elementary buildings. She has worked tirelessly to provide professional development for our staff. Teachers trust Jen. She meets them where they are, and she skillfully supports them, always moving them forward to benefit our students. As a building administrator, I see the fruits of Jen's work daily in our classrooms. I see consistency in practice, grade to grade, and classroom to classroom. I see confidence and collaboration at grade level team meetings, and I see students engaged in literacy instruction that is effective and research-based. For someone like Jen, who is highly organized, very intentional, and very passionate, it can be easy to always think about the next thing that they haven't done yet. What's next? So it's really nice tonight to just pause for a moment and recognize her for the outstanding work she is doing and all that she has already accomplished. So congratulations, Jen. Okay, I'm equally honored to introduce one half of what we affectionately call Team Burkamp. And you just met part of Team Burkamp, which is made up of Mrs. Jenny Burke and Miss Lee Herkamp. Unfortunately, Lee is ill today. I did notice that her husband, Nate, is here, so thank you, Nate, for being here to represent the Herkamp family. She's very disappointed that she couldn't be here with the children and with you, but I'm still going to tell you a little bit about her, okay? During her 4 years at Brasser, Lee has been part of this dynamic, integrated, co-taught second grade classroom. Lee and Jenny's class is one where genuinely everyone is welcome. It's a community of learners where differences are celebrated, and that shows because it produces students who value uniqueness, value the individuality that we all bring to a school setting. When you enter their classroom, students are always able to tell us what they're learning and why. She works closely with parents and guardians to set goals for progress for their students. And Lee is also a natural collaborator. She actively contributes to building level and district level work. And there's a long list of things she does, but two things that come to mind are her participation on our Brasser United committee, which plans basically the character development for our school. And also she's a member of the district literacy team, both important roles. She is leading collegial circles on restorative practices, one of which is happening right now. Last evening there was a meeting. But day to day and week to week, Lee's a leader planning with her partner and with her grade level team to monitor student progress and to flexibly group students. So I could go on, but if you're ever around Brasser on a Thursday afternoon, you might even see her teaching kids how to play volleyball. She does do that after school as a club offering. So in short, Lee's a very special person. She is kind, she is talented, and she's the kind of teacher that makes everyone around her better, students and adults alike. So congratulations to Lee.
Good evening. It is with the utmost privilege that I may say the next participant, she teaches for me. Probably better said, though, she teaches with me. We as a staff, we as students, and we as families of Florence Brasser are so very fortunate to have Mrs. Burke as a teacher here. I still remember the day I was asked to observe college students at St. John Fisher. Something was different about her. Her style, her presence, her shine. What I saw 10 years ago shines even brighter today. The team at Burkamp represents an outstanding, highly effective, integrated co-teaching model. It is my honor to recognize Miss Jenny Burke with a GC Pride Award. I also get to introduce someone. When I started working here 15 years ago, Janet Menchaki was also beginning her tenure here at Brasser. Coming from high school, she has stuck by me for these past years. She's put up with me. She's worked alongside 3 different secretaries over this span, and she's been the rock. She never veers off. She goes by the book. Soon, she'll be becoming a full-time grandmother, and I wish her the best. It is also my honor to recognize Ms. Janet Menchaki as a GC Pride Award recipient. All right, this time, can we have the recipients? We're going to get a picture taken.
Congratulations to all of you. All right, moving forward, we now have our Monroe to Orleans BOCES presentation from District Superintendent Joy Antonacci and District Board President Dennis Laba.
Good evening, and thank you, Superintendent Daly and Gates Tri Board for having us back at our annual visit. So, a couple updates in terms of what's kind of happening this school year. First of all, we want to thank you for the partnership that we have at Neil Armstrong Elementary. We have one integrated preschool classroom there, and we really do appreciate the way that you have adopted our classroom and integrated us along with the whole school. So we appreciate that. So thank you to the staff and to the board for that. Our Office of Curriculum Instruction and Professional Development provides instructional support to Gates Chili in the areas of next generation learning standards, APPR, multi-tiered systems of support for students, and also mentoring. So we continue to enjoy that strong relationship. This past summer, Gates Chili also was a part of our regional summer school program. You had 344 students take 588 classes, both review courses, and test only. So, and we also ran a clinic out here. In career tech for 23-24 right now, we have 121 Gates Chili students enrolled as of November 9th, and they're enrolled in 24 different types of career tech classes. Our National Honors chapter is also was a formal introduction ceremony for new members, and that is happening on November 28th. And I want to just introduce the following students that are going to be going into that. In computer technology, Thomas Joseph Phelan. Digital visual communication, Faith Waver. Outdoor power sports technology, Deandra Phelps. Heavy equipment operation and maintenance, Samuel Brown. Culinary, Kobe Blue. And HVAC and plumbing, Jordan Hook. So students are really enjoying it. A lot going on at Wamoco. We're bursting at the seams. We continue to have a waiting list, and we are out of space. So we have just added 2 classes, mobile classes, at Springdale Farm. It's something that we had been working on with the county for a while, and it finally came to fruition at the end of October. We have heavy equipment and agriculture out there, so those are 2 brand new career tech courses. We have a proposal into the county for a couple more classes that if we could have up to 4 out there, so we're looking at that for the future. Also, right now, we are working with the BOCES Board of Education about our short and long-term plans. So one of the things that we are concerned about is that we are out of space. So given that we're out of space, we need to start to look at the future. We're looking at the enrollment of our 9 districts, 5 years back, 5 years out, just to see what maybe some of the trends are and where we need to kind of better offer programs and services, if there's things we need to dial back on, and if there's things we need to expand on. So we're just starting that process with our BOCES board, and obviously we'll be working very closely with our West Side superintendents on that. In CATS and MARS this year, Ryan Meyer is working with your teachers, iReady focused professional learning for middle school staff, and then also eDoctrina, which is a platform for computer-based testing for students. And Lorena is also working with Troy and Katie Kuhn to develop a professional development for teacher leaders on equitable grading practices. I know they've been working on that. BOCES for Science, we have a new location. We have moved from Turner Drive to Rochester Tech Park, and we've expanded that program. Right now, Gates is leasing 278 kits for the 23-24 school year. We've changed the name from Elementary Science Program. I think you might have heard me say this already, and it is now BOCES for Science. And what we did is we took the 4 BOCES in what we call our joint management team, which is Monroe 1, Monroe 2 Orleans BOCES, Genesee Valley, and Wayne Finger Lakes BOCES. We've put the best of our science programs all together, and we're running it as one program. We're serving right now over 140 districts in New York State. And then often people aren't aware that we still have our adult ed program. 2 things with that. Our new location is back on Big Ridge Road with CTE. We have a high school equivalency for young adults ages 16 to 20 that are still enrolled in high school and are referred by the district. So we have that particular program. And then we also have an out-of-school youth program for individuals 18 to 20 years old, no longer enrolled in school, and they can self-enroll, but the district does approve them. So those are a number of the things going on. We, along with a whole lot of districts in New York State, have experienced a staffing and recruitment issue this year. We're continuing to, the board has given us carte blanche to do whatever we can in terms of publishing and advertising, and fairs, et cetera. We're trying some really unique things, and there have been some areas that we obviously still have gaps in. So we're working hard to try to close those gaps. The superintendents and myself just had our retreat over a week ago. We talked about some of the areas of concern and how we need to make improvements there. If there's areas that we find that we're just not able to fill, we are going to be giving our districts, a good, portion of time and letting them know that, so that it's not a last-minute piece. So that's been a disappointment. I think that's a disappointment across the state. We are working, in my role as district superintendent, working with the Commissioner of Education and the State Education Department on how we can get more people into the education pipeline, and and how can we attract individuals. A good piece that all of our districts, and it's going to be running through Monroe to Orleans, BOCES with the University of Rochester and Nazareth University. We've just received a Department of Labor grant that for $3 million. What will happen is residents, whether they're in the undergraduate or the graduate program, will be getting a $30,000 stipend to help them with their education and associated expenses. So we're hoping that we're going to be able, that will be some incentive to have more educators in the pipeline. I know you know the gentleman next to me. He's been a long-time member, not only of Gates, but obviously on the BOCES board. So, Dennis?
How are you, everybody? I'd like to invite you all to the Monroe to Orleans BOCES annual meeting on April 10th at 6 p.m. And you can enjoy a meal prepared and served by the students, and it's always a great time for everybody, even the students and as well as us. Thank you.
Any questions that Dennis and I can take tonight?
Any questions? Thank you guys so much.
You're very welcome. I'd like to thank the staff and Superintendent Daly, very much an integral part of our West Side superintendents on committees and doing the work, always with a sense of humor. So I thank you, Chris, and thank you, staff, for the support that you give our programs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great night.
Do we have any agenda changes, sir?
We have in consent agenda F, approval of agreement with employee A, and some adjustments in personnel.
Thank you. All right, that moves us on to board president comments. I wanted to take a moment to thank the Brasser families and teachers and staff that are here tonight for sharing a little bit of your routines and things that are put into place to support everybody's school day. It's a wonderful experience to be a part of. Also seeing teachers who my children have had over the years, who they still talk about and are excited to see. So it's wonderful to have that be a part of our community. We have now reached the end of the first quarter, and as a parent, educator, and board member, that it's a big impact in my life, as I'm sure it is in many other people's lives. So I just want to take a moment to recognize all of the hard work and interventions that have been put into place by teachers and staff, by our students and their families supporting them to help them make it through that first chunk of their school year and progressing towards their goals and maybe reassessing their goals and making new goals for themselves. And then finally, I just wanted to take one last moment to address that we're reaching the holiday season, which is so exciting to so many people, but it brings so many emotions and struggles as well. And just making sure that we're all aware of what we do and how we say things and interact with each other, that our experiences may be similar to other people's as we approach these times and these changes in routines, but they may also be very different from somebody else's. So just making sure we're all remembering to be aware that something that may be exciting could also be stressful or provide kind of a need to take a step back for some people. And just having that in our minds as we approach the next few weeks. And that is the end of my comments. So we're going to move forward to points of interest. Ms. Davis?
Thank you. Mr. Daly may touch on this later, but the middle school musical is this Thursday and Friday night. I know these kids have been working very hard. I encourage everyone to come out. It's sure to be a good time. That's all I have.
Thank you. Dr. Richards?
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to acknowledge the work the third meeting of the Code of Conduct Committee had today. Exciting, very detailed, intentional work that is being done around the Code of Conduct and making sure our student voice, parent voice, community voice, and district voice is being heard.
Thank you. Do we have any other points of interest? Ms. Littlewood?
I just, excuse me. I just wanted to thank everyone that assisted with the Gates Child Fall Fest at the Field House. I appreciate everything and the time put in and all the community partners that were there to support our students and families. Thank you.
Okay. Any other points of interest? Ms. Kais?
About 2 weeks ago, I was able to attend a unified bowling match at Gates Bowl between Gates and Spenceport. What a wonderful experience, very positive environment, and just the kids were having fun, and that was what was important. And also attended Fall Fest. It was nice to see how well attended it was by our community and how many represented clubs, organizations in our community that were there, and really enjoyed the performance by the STEP team.
Thank you. Anybody else? Wonderful. Thank you guys for sharing. That moves us on to report of meetings. Do we have any reports? Dr. Richards?
Just to report that ad hoc is meeting in their wonderful ad hocing way, coming up with some next steps for the board to follow through as far as our book study and working on some documents that we want to update.
Thank you. Any other meetings? Okay. Do we have any visitor comments? No? That moves us on to reports. Florence Brasser, you're up.
All right. President Coffey, Vice President Dr. Richards, Board of Education, Superintendent Daly. We are honored to be here tonight to share with you the hard work and accomplishments and what we are challenged to continue to work hard here at Florence Brasser. Myself, I'm committed. This is my 15th year at Brasser, and I'm so blessed to have Assistant Principal Eugene with me to do the work that is happening. So tonight, we want to share with you some of the goals that we are putting in place at Florence Brasser. Typically, we take the district goals and we expand on them. Typically, we build more goals. We go from 2 district to maybe 3 building. This year, we did something different. We decided to focus on 1 goal, but that goal is divided up into 3 crucial areas: our students, our staff, and our families. We brought the staff together and we brainstormed action steps that they felt was important to move forward. And when we do that, we use our building vision statement: learning together, leading together, and achieving together. And in those 3 aspects, we listed quite a few indicators for each one. And tonight we're just going to touch on 1 each. And first of all, I have Ms. Eugene share with you our first one.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Young. Okay, so you saw that our goal is about creating a responsive environment for our students, staff, and families. So what does that look like for our students? One practice that we have in place at Brasser is the Classroom Buddy Program. This is a very simple idea, but it's very impactful. So we have 21 classrooms at Brasser, and every classroom grades 3 through 5 is matched with a classroom from grades kindergarten through 2nd grade, and they remain buddies for the entire year. And what happens is they create shared experiences together. Those shared experiences could be as simple as playing board games together. It could be enjoying books together. It could be playing games together, all sorts of different things, craft activities. at the beginning of the year, we gifted the book BU by author Peter Reynolds to every classroom as sort of a launching point for our buddy program this year. And BU is all about embracing your uniqueness, your individuality, and making connections with people. And that's what this program is all about. A shared experience can look like what you see up here, which is Destiny and Max. This is a 5th grade classroom and a 2nd grade classroom together playing a game called Shipwreck. It probably took 10 minutes, maybe 12 tops, to play this game. Basically, they're on a treacherous sea. They need to follow the commands of the captain in order to survive, and they do these motions and things. But what happens behind the scenes is they learn each other's names. They say hi in the hallway. They help each other out on the bus and in the playground and in the cafeteria, and all these secondary benefits. So why do we do this? We know that students who feel connected at school, first of all, they come to school. Secondly, when they get to school, they do better academically and socially. And so this is an intentional way for us to create a web of connection in our school. Just yesterday, I saw it in action. Our kindergarten and 1st graders did their turkey trot yesterday. And I looked over and I saw a 5th grader like running alongside a little person. And I was thinking, that's not a sibling, how does that, and it hit me, it happens to be 2 buddy classrooms, and a couple of kids came out to support their buddies during the run. And the way a 5th grader, I said this last night at FBFA, the way a 5th grader can talk to a 5-year-old is different than the way Mrs. Eugene might talk to a 5-year-old, and they might strike a little different chord. So it's powerful, again, simple, but impactful. So that is one thing we are doing for our students. For our staff, one practice that we wanted to highlight, we've coined it grab and go sessions. This is teacher-led professional development. And the way it works is we reserve time during our faculty meetings, which are already on our calendar, and we solicit ideas from staff members who might want to share a practice, something that they're trying in their classroom, something they've read about, a tool that they're using, anything at all. And they prepare a brief kind of workshop model presentation that they facilitate for their colleagues. There's time built in for discussion, for playing with ideas, for trying things out. It's very informal. The other powerful thing about it, though, is that our teachers get to choose ahead of time. So on any given morning, there might be 3 options to learn more about. And our teachers get to pick which one they're interested in, and then they have time with colleagues to learn from each other. And when we give teachers structure and time to learn from one another, really, really good things happen. And this is, again, a really simple way that we do this at Brasser. To give you an idea of some of the topics just over the last 6 months that grab and go sessions have covered, talking points, which is a meaningful way to connect with all families. And immediately after our talking point session, you heard chatter in the hallways, I've been wanting to give that a try, now I know how. It just gives people a little push to try something new. Foundational skills for learning. This particular session focused on the visual system. iReady motivational tips, electronic blending boards, which is part of phonics instruction. We had one session that focused on STEM materials like Osbots and Kiva planks that we can sign out through our library system. Vertical whiteboards, which is a strategy a teacher read about, and it involves having students stand and write vertically as a different way to connect with critical thinking. Nearpod, Blue-Kit, and the vestibular system, which if Mrs. DeMarsico, our physical therapist, was here tonight, she would tell you it's very underdeveloped in students right now and has an impact on our learners. So again, simple but impactful, and this is our focus, one of our focus points with staff. You're welcome.
I'll share with you a little bit of what we're doing with our families. Florence Brasser, we have amazing families, families that really, truly value their children's education. They want to be involved. They want to be present. What occurred a few years ago really put us in a tough bind, closing our doors, not allowing people to come in. So we are doing everything we can to open our doors and allow families into our classrooms. Learning opportunities for families facilitated by students and staff. There's nothing more powerful than a parent coming in and listening to their child, telling them what they are learning, or sharing with them what they've made. We try to provide these opportunities for every child. I know it's tough with parents working all different times of shifts. We try to be creative, strategic. We try to provide different opportunities, but we love sharing our learning with our families. We have an amazing FPFA Family Association. They support us tremendously, and we look forward to continuing working with them to partner, to continue to build on our family engagement. One opportunity that we've done that we really feel is highly, very successful is we invite parents in for a session with their children. Before they arrive, they get to meet with me for about 10 minutes. I share with them something that's important at Brasser. We also, many times, meet with our content leader, whether it's math or ELA or science or social studies. They give you like an 8-minute update on what's going on in their child's learning. And then they get to go see their kids. And they spend time with their kids, learning, finding out what projects they're working on. It's just a really impactful moment for families and for kids. We are challenging our staff this year to have multiple opportunities for this to occur. We wanted to brainstorm ideas, so we asked staff, what could it look like? As you see, they came up with many ideas. That's exciting. That's exciting that our staff values the opportunity for families to come in and be with their kids. And so our challenge this year will be for families and our staff to open their doors, to come in and to be spending some quality time with them within our classrooms. And we're excited about that to happen. If you notice some of the key points up there, we have a lot of STEM activities we've done. We have a learning fair, but teachers were saying they could have their own mini learning fair in their classrooms. Projects, we just had families come in and students shared what they were doing on their computers. Just a really awesome time for families to come in, and we think it's powerful. Those are the 3 focus areas that we are working on this year. We have a lot of challenges, but we're excited about this challenge. We have a tremendous staff this year. I'm excited about this year. We've seen nothing but growth happening. It's kind of like what's in the past, let it go, we're moving, we're going, and we're really pushing forward, and we think there's a lot of work for us to do, and we're ready for that. Before we end, I do want to update you on a goal that I had a couple years ago. I brought to the Board of Education. It's in regards to our after-school clubs. Last year, we were able to provide multiple clubs throughout Brasser after school. We offer about 22 clubs, so kids can just get a feel of something, not be stuck in something for a whole year, but just have a little taste of something and move on for another club. And in January, we had 172 students participate, and that was about 86% of our students, grades 3 through 5. And we challenged our staff, made some phone calls, made some connections, and by the end of the year, 96% of our students were participating in an after-school program. And we know what the research says. Get kids involved early, because if you don't, we're going to lose them. So we're hoping that number is going to be 100% this year, but just wanted to share that update. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you both. Do you have any questions, any comments? I'd like to share the Buddy program makes a big impact in our house. I hear about it frequently and have for the past couple of years. So it definitely is working. Thank you, guys. All right, that moves us forward to the consensus agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consensus agenda? Ms. Littlewood? Ms. Davis? Any questions or concerns? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. Can I have a motion to approve consensus items C through I? Can I have a motion? Ms. Urbanowski, Ms. Kais, any questions or discussion? All in favor? Okay, the vote is unanimous. That moves us forward to action items. We have the approval of external independent audit. Can I have a motion to approve the external independent audit for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023, as presented by Mengel, Metzer, Bar & Co., LLP? Can I have a motion? Mr. Long, Ms. Littlewood, any questions or discussion? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. That brings us to superintendent's comments.
More than 600 people came out to the Spartan Fieldhouse on Thursday for our annual Fall Family Fest. The event was a huge success with more than 60 of our community partners coming out to provide families and students with information, fun, and games. Our outdoor club was in attendance with students dressed as the sun and moon, getting folks all pumped up about the total solar eclipse coming this April. Hundreds of people got their flu shot and sampled tasty new treats coming to our school lunch menus this spring. Thank you to everyone who came out for this fun event and the committee who helped put it on. And as mentioned earlier, I hope you'll be able to make it out to see middle school's performance of Finding Nemo Jr. this week. Our students have been riding the tide of hard work to make this show a splash. The performances will be this Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. with a special performance Thursday afternoon for our youngest ocean explorers in the 1st and 2nd grade. All the shows are at the Gates Child Performing Arts Center, not our aquatic center. Winter sports started on Monday. We wish all our Spartans a great season ahead, and with that, we also congratulate our fall sports student athletes. From our football program, we had 4 Spartans make the all-county first team and another 4 make the all-county second team. From varsity game day cheer, 2 of our student athletes were named all-county first team. Our varsity boys soccer team had representation on both all-county first and second teams and 2 student athletes that were named honorable mention. And we also had the Monroe County Player of the Year in Sebastian Guerrero. In girls soccer, we had 1 first team, 2 second team, and 5 honorable mention all-county Spartans. And finally, our girls tennis had 4 students recognized for all-county. So congratulations to all our Spartans and the many others on all the hours spent committed to our fall athletics, and we look forward to seeing our winter athletics shortly. And don't forget that Chief Long and the Legend of Perry, Mr. Olin, will be taking on the Harlem Wizards when they come back to Gates Chile on Friday, January 12th at 7 p.m. in our field house. Remember, this event benefits the Gates Chile Education Foundation, and we appreciate EMS being there just in case. So we look out for ticket information coming shortly. And students from all 4 of our GC elementary schools honored our veterans on Friday by reading essays entitled "What Veterans Day Means to Me" at Gates Town Hall. Thank you to all the veterans in our Gates Chile community for your service. You may have seen that the Board of Regents had the Blue Ribbon Panel report out on the New York State Board of Regents on Monday on proposed changes to graduation requirements in New York State. Regents exams will be de-emphasized with more options available other than one-off exams to show competency towards graduation. There'll be a greater emphasis on CTE skills as well as individual and group projects and research papers. They want to offer many more pathways to a diploma in our ever-changing world. Many have shared concern that it's getting rid of the regents. Regents will still be involved, but it will not be the end-all, be-all, and as they try and encompass more learners to garner graduation status. So as this evolves and they put into practice, And when they are adopted, we'll present to the board to let them know. A common concern is, will that impact our graduates this spring? It does not. The earliest it would impact is the class of 2025. And finally, a reminder that the Youth Risk Behavior Survey will be administered in our middle school and high school on Monday, November 20th. Parents and guardians received an email about the survey and will have the option to notify the district if they do not want their students to take the survey. If families want to see the survey, they can come on over to the admin building at a reception desk and read it. And last but not least, we have a major award to give out from the New York State School Boards Association. It certifies that, of goodwill in mind, Michelle Jennings of the Gates Chi Central School District completed New York State mandated fiscal oversight fundamentals, a whopping 6 hours. Safeguarding district resources, roles, and responsibilities. The responsibility of the Board of Education in school district finances. The responsibility of the Board of Education in managing school district fiscal fitness. And the responsibility of the Board of Education in budget development. This online virtual training occurred on June 17th in the year of our Lord 2023, and this is signed by both Robert Schneider, Executive Director, and Penny Zugaby, President. So on behalf of the board, we congratulate you, Mrs. Jennings, on this esteemed certificate for your refrigerator. That is my report, President Coffey.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Can I have a motion then to adjourn the meeting? Ms. Littlewood, Ms. Serbanowski, any questions, discussion, concerns? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.